Hello and welcome back to the official Live Laugh Lily Kincade podcast with your host, your girl, Lily Kincade. Today we are on episode 6 of season 3. How wild. If you haven't watched season 1 and 2, you definitely should. If you're on YouTube, I'll put them on the screen. If you're on Spotify, that's your homework to go binge. Anyways, today we have a fun topic. It's a chill topic. We're talking about rest because this time of year, I feel like rest and also just basically it feels like everything comes up at the end of the year, because you're just getting everything in order before the new year. 2, you're going home a lot, so you're just kind of like old feelings, old emotions, nostalgia, everything's coming up. And I just kind of wanted to go through 5 key points that differentiate rest and avoidance, because sometimes we can rest because we don't want to deal with the things we have to do, and other times we want to truly rest so that we have energy to do all the amazing things and use all the gifts we have. So that's what we're talking about today. But anyways, I wanted to show y'all, look at this. I was at a holiday party this past weekend and look at this cinematic hat. This amazing airbrush artist created this in a cinematic t-shirt. I'm obsessed. If you haven't streamed my debut album, Cinematic, you're missing out. What? Where have you been? You have to go stream Cinematic, the debut album by Lily Kincade. It tells the story of my first love, so cinematic, over dramatic. They don't write them like the way they write Your First Love. Felt like magic, but ended tragic. Barely made it out alive. I got the worst luck. Yeah, it was good. It was bad. It was ugly. Watching it back and it's all kind of funny. So cinematic, over dramatic. They don't write them like the way they write Your First Love. Anyways, I'm looking down because I have my laptop here for our notes. But let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. I can't believe that the end of the year is almost here. We have 2 episodes left? 3 episodes? Maybe 3 episodes. 3 episodes until the new year. As always, too, I feel like we're just getting all the disclaimers out of the way in the beginning. Feel free to please comment below or DM me on Instagram any topics, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to cover, because this podcast is literally just for us to talk about our emotions, because we are not alone. You are not alone. I'm not alone. We are all humans and we are all going through emotions together, and life can be very hard alone. It can be very scary. So, we're doing it together. So if there's anything that you're like, Lily, what do I do in this situation? Like, I need help with this. I'm nervous about this. I'm scared. I got you. We can talk about it together. Anyways, okay, let's get into this episode, the difference between rest and avoidance. We start every episode with a quote, and I've picked out one today by John Lubach, and it is, "Rest is not idleness. And to lie sometimes on the grass under trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of the water, is by no means a waste of time." So good. I have a hard time resting. I don't know if you may feel that way as well, but sometimes when I have all these goals and I have all these dreams and I want to make this album and I want to do this project, it can be difficult for me to rest. But the truth is, we have to rest. We are designed to rest. Just like how, if we keep going at something, we get burnt out, we get tired. We physically have to rest. And I think, physical rest, like sleeping, but also too, there is a great beauty in mental rest, in emotional rest, because it centers you, it brings you clarity. And I don't know, I think it's very important. And so I basically just wanted to give you 5 guidelines. And I always say, this is what I'm going through and I'm learning, that signify true rest that will actually benefit you and actually help you in this new era once you're rested. I want us all to come back in 2026 feeling really good, feeling rested physically, emotionally, spiritually, just feeling very grounded and very back to our true self. And I always say, rest should bring you back to who you are and who God created you to be. Avoidance tends to pull you away. Like when you're procrastinating something, that's different from rest. So we're going through the points. I have them on my computer. Okay, let's dive in. Number 1, rest has an endpoint. Rest is not infinite. It is one day. It is 1 week. It is, I'm going to take 2 weeks off and I'm not going to write at all. I'm going to input. I'm going to watch movies. I'm going to get creative. And then I'm going to get back to the piano. I often go through cycles with that because, sometimes if you tell yourself, okay, for 1 week, I'm not going to do any writing. At the end of that week, I am so excited to write. I'm filled with energy. So, rest has an endpoint. It's not infinite, but avoidance feels endless. And that's why, those spirals of like avoiding something, it can be very terrifying because that's not true rest. You are just running away from that. And, I really love to choose my rest, especially somebody who loves to keep going, loves to keep working. You can get burnt out. And then, your passions, your creative hobbies start to feel not fun anymore. You know, it's like going to the gym. If you went to the gym every single day, like eventually you would get burnt out and tired. And I know for me, like I love working out. Like I feel so good. I love like listening to music, listening to some Lily Kincade. I feel so good. But if I never give myself a day off, my muscles would ache, my body would get tired, I would start to hate it. So it's important that you do that. And I think that the best way to do that is to incorporate it. Just like you incorporate your exciting moments. Oh, I'm going to study. I'm going to do this job interview. I have work. I'm going to go to the studio. Incorporate your rest. Be like, I'm going to go take a nature walk. I'm going to be off my phone for this whole day. Incorporate rest into your calendar so that way it feels intentional, because it is not going to be infinite. It's going to be finite. So that's the difference between rest and avoidance. It's like there's a time limit. And yeah, I just think schedule it in. Write it on your calendar. You can even tell people around you, hey, I'm taking like a rest day from my phone, so I'm going to be no phone unless it's an emergency on this Saturday or this Sunday. And so like you can tell people, you can tell your roommate, you can tell your friends, and be intentional about it. Take it seriously because you deserve it, you know? Yeah, and I think this is important around the holiday season too. You know, when you're traveling or back with family, the days for me at least can kind of feel like they all blur together. So it's important to like do this, and it helps differentiate. Just be like, okay, I'm going to do a day where I'm not going to be on my phone at all. I'm going to go for a walk in nature. I'm going to cook maybe. Be intentional with it, okay? Tip number 2, rest. Point number 2, rest reconnects you with yourself, and avoidance disconnects you. Avoidance makes you feel like you're running away from who you are. Rest should recharge you. True rest makes you feel energized after, you know, versus avoiding something makes you feel like you have this ticking clock, at least in my opinion. And I think that true rest actually brings your feelings to the surface. So, you know, maybe uncomfortable at first. I think sometimes thinking and resting physically or just whatever it may be, sometimes it can be scary because suddenly your brain is thinking and bringing up all of these things you've been pushing down, you know, avoiding them, being too busy. And that's something I went through. I have a song, I haven't talked about this song in forever, but my first EP, Distracting Myself, literally the title track, Distracting Myself, is about that. I was doing so much, distracting myself from all these emotions. Suddenly the pandemic happened and whoa, I can't hide from these feelings anymore. And I wrote that song, and, you know, since then have processed a lot. And that opened up so many just like doors and like, wow, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. And so like true rest reconnects you with yourself. Okay. And I think that something to do with this is like, make sure you have little routines put in place, you know, have a morning routine, have a nighttime routine. I think doing things where it's not for social media, it's not with other people, really connects you with yourself. Like I love doing my skincare. I don't have any makeup on right now. I have lipstick on, but I love doing my skincare. It's so fun. I usually will put on sometimes like meditating music or sometimes no music at all. And I'll light a candle. I'll do my skincare. I'll do my gua sha. And it makes me feel very rested and very grounded. And, you know, something, I guess like the holiday edition. I have like a little holiday edition for all of these, but holiday edition for this would be like, make sure that you spend a little bit of time alone every day, whether that be, you know, you are busy with your whole family cooking and making food. Make sure you go for a 10-minute walk before dinner time, or make sure maybe you spend a little extra time doing your makeup, listening to your favorite song. That way you can kind of feel centered and grounded. Okay, our point number 3 / tip number 3, rest supports your future and aligns you closer with your goals, while avoidance steals from it and kind of keeps you stuck. Avoiding things, even if it looks like rest on the outside, it's not true rest because it's not preparing you for where you're supposed to go, you know? Sometimes I can be like, okay, I don't want to sing today. I'm on vocal rest. I'm saving my voice. And like, I could say that, but it could be if I was avoiding doing something because I was scared, that's not helping me, versus if I'm like not avoiding doing something, but I'm doing it from a genuine place. So all of these things, you know, you really need to journal. You really need to ask your heart, you know, kind of where it is, but rest supports your future, note, and avoidance steals from it. And so some practical ways to think about this and incorporate it is, you know, preparation, I always say, is when luck meets opportunity, but preparation is what rest is. It's not like you're not stopping it forever. You're just preparing. It's almost like, you know, before you do a big performance or before you were doing a marathon or something, yes, you're training, but like the day before you kind of are preparing your muscles. You're eating more carbs. You're like preparing your body. And so think of rest as that. It's not a stopping point. It's not you giving up. Resting is you preparing. And I think it's important. It's like almost when you're sick, you know, our body tells us signs, and there's been times where I've just been go, 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 and then I lose my voice for a little bit because I wasn't listening and I was pushing my voice and trying to sing when I was sick. And you have to just mentally get over the fact that, you know what, resting does not mean it's done forever. It's not a pause. It's not like a ending it. It's just you're resting and recharging almost. And I always say that for me, the best time to reflect is when I'm resting. Don't try to plan when you're resting, because that's not true resting. If you are resting, say you're on vocal rest and you're trying to be like, okay, here's what I'm going to do once I'm not, you're not actually resting. I love to reflect. I love to go through and assess, like, what did I love about this past project, or what did I not like about this past project? What do I want to do differently? What do I want to do the same? Reflect when you are resting. Don't try to think ahead, because when you're thinking ahead, you're not in the present moment resting. So reflect and be in the present moment. Another like holiday way to incorporate this is reflect on the year. Reflect on the year. I want you to journal. I have a podcast episode about journaling that you definitely should go watch. I'll see if I can tag it below. I might be able to. I might be able to tag it below. But if not, it's one of the, I think it's the third episode I did of season 1. I probably have it, but just search journal. But definitely practice journaling, because journaling to me, it's the best way of connecting my true desires, which allow me to help kind of prep for my future while being present and while reflecting on, all of the good things around me. Okay, tip/point number 4, rest allows emotions. It is not rest if you are numb, okay? Avoidance suppresses your emotions. So when you are resting, you should feel emotional. Sometimes when you stop, do you ever just like cry all of a sudden? Sometimes I'll be so busy doing something, and then all of a sudden I'll have like a little bit of time, and I'll just feel so overwhelmed. And it's not even for a specific reason, like nothing happened. I shouldn't be crying, but like all of the emotions that were bubbling up under the surface, I'm finally feeling. That's a good thing. And don't be afraid of that. When you are taking time to rest, you're going to feel a lot of emotions. And I want you to know that, you have to feel to heal. So you need to feel them. You need to cry them out, journal them. Rest creates space for feelings to move through. I always say feelings are like waves. You have to feel them so you can get rid of them. If you don't feel them, they're just going to stay right here. They've got to process and then leave, okay? So rest, like avoidance, is just keeping them here, and you can keep running, but they're just following you. It's almost like a shadow, versus true resting allows them to be processed and flow through you. And so, let yourself feel emotions, journal, allow yourself to be sad, be nostalgic, but within a given time frame. Like tip/point number 1, rest is not forever. So intentionally creating little pockets of time can be very, very exciting and very good for you, because you're allowed to feel these things, and give yourself that grace of being able to feel those things. And a little holiday tip is, the end of the year is weird. I always cry just for no reason. I always cry because, expectations or just whatever. It's a lot. It's emotional. So like, I always say, like, let your feelings pass. Do something that makes you feel sad. Watch a sad movie. Sometimes I love to listen to like sad Christmas music or old Christmas music. And sometimes I cry happy tears. Sometimes I cry sad tears. But I allow myself to just like sit for a little bit and be emotional. Be emotional. Think about that. Cry it out, dance it out, like let yourself be nostalgic, let yourself look through pictures from the past year and see how much you've changed, and see the friends you've lost and the friends you've gained. Like, let yourself feel those emotions. Don't try to bury them. Don't pretend that you're okay, because you know what? That's not being human. We want to feel our emotions, okay? And the last point/tip I have for sharing how to create true rest, and then the difference between rest and avoidance, because we are not avoiding things. When we are truly resting, we're not avoiding, and we're not going to use rest to cover avoidance, is rest leaves you clear, and you have rest gives you clarity, basically, on whatever it is that you are searching for clarity. It could be your career, it could be your relationship, whatever it may be. And avoidance leaves you feeling confused and heavy. So true rest gives you clarity. Avoidance makes you confused, okay? And I really like this because it can be very difficult sometimes, right? Especially when there is no right or wrong, whether it be your career, like it is no right or wrong. Do I want to quit my job? Do I want to stay? It could be your friendships. Do I want to keep being friends with this person? Do I not? Your relationship. Do I want to break up with them? Do I not want to break up with them? It can be very confusing. And so true rest, and when you give yourself true rest, you're not avoiding things if you use it well, and it's true rest, because true rest is, every single day I usually do this when I journal, which I keep talking about journaling, and you guys are like, Lily, you won't shut up about journaling, because it's so good. It literally will change your life. You have to journal. But something that I like doing is I'll try to journal at least for a couple minutes at nighttime, in the morning, but also at nighttime, checking in with myself, like, did I feel fulfilled at the end of this day? Like, how do I feel after hanging out with that person? Like, check in with yourself, and not a judgment way. You need to do it in a journal that nobody sees, or just like sit in quiet, close your eyes for a little bit, and really get to feel those feelings, because you know what? It is something that, you have to like bypass the mental blockers in your head. And I think that it's something that it very much soothes your nervous system, and that's how you know it's true rest. And just know that like I said in the tip before, there's going to be emotions that come up when you are really resting. But after those emotions, it's almost like after it rains. After it rains, you notice how the sky is so clear. There's usually always a rainbow. Suddenly the sunset is so vivid, so pink, so bright after it rains. So think of your emotions flowing through you, and then you're going to get this clarity when there is true rest. It's almost like this is just everything that happens, you know? And a way you can incorporate this, I guess, in the holidays is to realize that, you know what, you're not going to be able to do everything. Your expectations might not get met in the vision that you had, but that's okay. And to coming to terms with that, you know, like, you don't have to try to do everything to be loved, to be seen. Like, you are loved as you are. And I think, you know, the holidays can just bring up a lot of emotions, right? And, you know, you're seeing family, you're seeing all these things, but I think it's just to show up as your authentic self and to not feel guilty and to check in with yourself, have those journal time, have that quiet time so you don't go crazy, and just realize that you're allowed to slow down during the season. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you're not doing enough, because you are doing enough. And look at all of these things that come from resting. All of these amazing things actually come from slowing down. So I don't want you to feel like you're falling behind in life. Like, because sometimes I feel that. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel that, but I wrote this down today because I was reminding myself, like, you know what? During these quieter seasons, when I'm traveling, yes, I'm getting to spend time with family. It's amazing, but I'm not missing out on my career. Actually, all of this resting stuff is going to help me. It's going to help me center myself and get me ready for the new year. It's going to get me ready. It's going to get you ready. It's going to be amazing. So, you know, needing rest and forcing yourself to have rest kind of because of the holidays is actually a good thing. You're not going to fall behind. You are actually setting yourself up to get further ahead in the new year. And I don't know, it's really good because you're going to be able to process things. You're going to have so much more clarity. And I just think that's so worth it and so amazing. So I hope those 5 points / tips just helped you, because, you know, you're going to have this holiday season. It can be a lot slower. You know, things are closed. And so remember these points, listen back, take notes, remember these points, because we're going to have an amazing 2026. I already know. I just feel it. I feel like we're just going to go to the next level. I'm going to release even more music. You're going to go for your dreams. You're going to tell me about it. I love getting to hear from the Kincadians. We've had Kincadians graduate from like their dream schools, get into their dream schools, get their dream jobs, get engaged. Like, it's crazy. And I just love it because we're in this together, truly. So yeah, we end every episode with my favorite affirmation from my 2nd grade teacher. Today is a wonderful day. I am confident because I am a problem solver. I always have options because I choose to be optimistic. Today I will learn something new, laugh, and make a difference in someone else's life. I love y'all so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, leave a 5-star review, leave a comment, tell me your favorite part. I love y'all so much, and I will see you next Monday.